bring in now Republican Senator James Risch of Idaho. He serves on the Senate Intelligence Committee. Great to see you today, sir. Let's start with the break of information here and how one side sees it and the other side sees it. Democrats thinking that actually the Russians were trying to help Donald Trump.
Well, there's certainly evidence to that effect. They were in the open hearing we had, there was obvious evidence that they were working both sides. I think probably the thing I came away with that was stunning to me was how inept they were, stumbling over each other and really trying to work in for and against on each side. So look, it's this isn't as clear as what you'd like to see, but the Russians have been doing this for years. They've been meddling in our elections since, well, I think probably the exact time period's classified, but for decades, and they've been very inept at it. But that's the way they do business. They like to sow chaos.
You know, Senator Risch, there was a nuance there that I caught from you. It's an interesting one. So what we're being told is that it's different in the Senate and the House. That the Senate believes more that this potentially was to help Donald Trump. But what you're saying is, no, they want to help either side, or they want to help no side. They just want to cause confusion.
You're right on all of that. I think when we looked at it in an open hearing on how much money was spent on Facebook and other things, I think clearly there was more money that was spent favoring Donald Trump rather than favoring Hillary Clinton. But look, you can't ignore the fact that they were going both directions with this.
Sure.
And I know a lot of people want to ignore that, but it is a fact they were going both directions. I would readily concede that by the number of rubles they spent more supporting Trump.
Yeah, the House side does see it a little bit differently. Let's talk about our democracy, because we don't really care about that, about them, about the Russians. Are we vulnerable to what they're doing? Have we fixed the problems?
Well, as long as we are a free society and people can say what they want under the First Amendment, you're never going to have a fix, if you would. But having said that, by the very fact that this thing has gotten the wide expanse of view that it has, and it's been put under the microscope, I think people are going to be much more suspicious as we go through even these midterm elections about what they see online. And we all know that when you read something online, you want to fact check it very closely and not just accept it and swallow it. We all know people who do read what's online and they take a particular entry and make a big deal out of it when in fact it's not true at all.
Wow, you were just, again, very candid about that. You know, we as Americans, as voters, have to take the responsibility now of going a little bit deeper now that we know what some would do to exploit us. And it's not just Russia.
And that's
the president
not a bad
has said
thing.
It could be China, it could be anybody. I want to get on to Gina Haspel if we can. Because there was a vote that came out of committee that was a 10-5 in her favor. And there are Democrats like Mark Warner who say, yeah, she's the right candidate. Is there a sea change on the Hill and confirmation on the horizon for Gina Haspel, head of CIA?
Well, I think Gina Haspel is going to be confirmed, and she should be. Look, this is a woman who's dedicated her life to keeping America safe the way we have to do it through covert means sometimes. She started at the very bottom, has worked her way to the top. She's got strong support from the people at the agency. More importantly, I deal with people from other countries every day who are in the intelligence business. Most of them know Gina's work. She's worked overseas, like a lot of us. I've known her for 10 years and known of her work. She's done a fabulous job. Our partners in this business are very comfortable having Gina Haspel as head of this agency.
All right. Senator Risch of the great state of Idaho, thank you very much. Good to see you, sir.
Thank you.
President Trump is